If you're still using a Venn diagram to find your passion, I hate to break it to you, but you're looking in the wrong place. Passion isn't something that you figure out on paper. It's actually something that you build by doing. And if you ever felt stuck trying to find your thing, this video will actually introduce a more actionable, smarter, and more experimental way of trying to find your passion. But I have to warn you, passion takes action to uncover and time to nurture. You probably wouldn't be able to find what your passion is immediately after watching this video. Well, if it's that simple, you wouldn't be here watching another video on how to find your passion, right? But what you can get from this video is that you can actually walk away with actionable steps on how to uncover and nurture your passion. This video is not going to show you another mental framework like the Venn diagram, where you draw 3 circles outlining what you're good at, what you're interested in, and what the world needs. Or somebody already told you about Ikigai, the Japanese concept of meaning. Well, it might actually feel helpful and structured, like you're solving an equation. But the problem with these mental frameworks is that it's based on one false hypothesis. Its models assume that passion is something that you already know. It's like some hidden treasure buried in your brain, waiting to be uncovered if you think hard enough. But most people, they don't know what they love, or what they're good at, or even what the world needs. And even if you do end up filling these cute bubbles up, what do you do next? You just end up feeling more lost. There's no roadmap, no momentum, it's just one pretty diagram. And another issue that I have with the Venn diagram is that it actually blinds you to the paths that you've never considered before. Because if you're actually choosing from what you're familiar with, you're actually missing out on the entire world that you haven't explored yet. And here's my own story. When I first graduated as an art student, I thought being an artist was my entire passion. And back then, I really thought business was boring and talking about money was really tacky. I really thought that I was allergic to numbers, like no joke. But when I actually stepped into business, I was actually totally amazed and realized how wrong I was. It was nothing like what I imagined. Business was actually another form of problem solving. And you can actually use data and numbers to tell a story. For example, if you see there's like a sudden surge on the marketing expenses, was it caused by a new product release? And how is my client's company performing compared to the industry? I can only tell these stories based on the data. I used to think that I hated math, but now I actually love data because it actually helps me uncover insights, connect the dots, and actually tell stories. So it turns out my passion wasn't really in art, it was actually about storytelling. And I can tell stories not just through paintings or films, although I do love making films. Also, I can tell stories through data, strategy, and even spreadsheets. You're not really born knowing what your passion is. You have to try things and experiment and see how they make you feel. One fact about passion that a lot of people misunderstand about is that passion is actually built, not found. And that's how you actually collect data on what lights you up. And real passion doesn't just show up overnight, it actually grows with time. I used to have dozens of interests. I loved singing, I loved painting, and I loved making films, and even skiing, dancing. Most of these hobbies just lasted for a few months, maybe some a few years, but only a few of them actually stuck. One thing is storytelling, and another one is creative problem solving. These are the things that I actually get excited about. Even though there's no immediate rewards for doing them, I just love doing them. I feel energized by them. And that's why a Venn diagram filled with today's thoughts might be irrelevant in a year. Because passion doesn't just come from what you say that you love doing. It actually has to be tested with time. So really, passion does not come from thinking, it comes from doing. And consistently doing it. And here's a better way, and I call it the passion experiment framework. And comes with 5 steps to uncover what really excites you through action. Step 1, list out anything that sparks curiosity. Remember, in this step, you need to be broad. You can write down things like business, math, physics, sports, storytelling, or even poker if you want. And step 2, brainstorm bold possibilities. Think of all the ways that you can explore each interest. Be as bold as possible. I even suggest you to list down things that you never thought you would try. For example, if you're interested in business, what are the ways that you can achieve this? One example is that you can climb up the corporate ladder in a Fortune 500 company. Or you can start your own business, or you can even be a writer writing about business insights. Step 3, run experiments. Pick one thing that you listed down in step 2 and run experiments with it. You can set a time period, for example, like 3 months. And for that time period, you're really stepping into that role's shoes to do exactly what they would do. For example, if you want to be a business writer, actually write an article about business every single week for a few months. Or if you want to build your own business, maybe you can actually start doing an MVP and test it out in the real market. And if you want to be an independent filmmaker, actually go out to find cast members and make a short film. Treat this step as an experiment. Remember, you're just getting data on whether you really love doing what this role does or not. You don't have to make a life choice right now. Step 4, reflect and evaluate. Once you're done with the experiment, it's actually time to reflect on how you felt about it. And if you tested out being a marketer, did you actually love analyzing data and consistently posting on social media every week? If you tried being an independent filmmaker, did you actually enjoy recruiting people to make that film? Were you good at the tasks required? Did the good experiences outweigh the bad experiences? Are you willing to ignore the parts that you hate for the parts that you love doing? And finally, step 5. Realign. Based on what you learned about yourself and the role, decide on whether you want to go deeper, pivot, or try something completely new. It's a feedback loop between doing and self-awareness. And if you do this enough, you eventually will find something that you're passionate about doing. And the good thing about this process is by the end of it, you actually have work to show for it. And that's how you create more clarity. It is not by thinking, but instead it is by doing. Forget about the diagram, actually run the experiment. Thinking actually creates more chaos in your mind. Only action provides more clarity. If this helped you, drop a comment and let me know what experiments you're going to try next. And if you like more content like this, hit that subscribe button and stick around. We're just getting started.